What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of Monday Night Mayhem. Tonight, I am joined by gaming's favorite brethren, Carson and Zach. Carson and Zach, one at a time now. Say hello to the audience.
My name was said first, so I will say hello, audience. How are you?
Hello.
Well, now that we got all our hellos out of the way, tonight we're going to be talking about why does Resident Evil 9 look so awesome? Xbox is doing some good things this week. Video game anniversaries, and a whole bunch of other randomness going on in the industry right now. Of course, if you like what we do here, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, let us know what you want us to talk about on next week's episode, of course. And with that out of the way, settle into those ergonomic gaming chairs, grab those diet chips, maybe some root beer, hit up your local Denny's, hit up your local Arby's. Actually, don't do that. Arby's is actually mid AF. And strap in and get ready to game on. Because this is Monday Night Mayhem, where pixels meet possibilities. Fellas, we've already started off having some awesome conversations before the show kicked off. Let's just keep that going. Let's keep that energy rolling. I'm feeling good. I hope y'all are feeling good. Tonight, I want to talk a little bit about Resident Evil 9 because this game shot way up on my radar. Did y'all watch that presentation that recently just happened?
I made a point not to because I'm somewhat interested in Requiem, but I have not finished Village or whatever. Oh, wait, 8 was Village.
8 was Village.
Whatever the fuck 7 was called. Biohazard?
Yeah.
Whatever. I haven't finished the last 2, and I probably should. I have seen the thing that everyone is talking about, though, because that was what I was trying to avoid, and I saw it anyway. And I can answer the question for you. Why does this look so badass?
Answer the question.
Well, JT, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a big fan of the series Yakuza. And in turn, I made you a big fan of Yakuza by talking it up for years, and you finally got to try it, and I was very happy that you fell in love with it and that you've enjoyed what you've gotten to play so much. But you know what one of those selling points was for you, JT, and was for me as well? It was the heat actions.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we keep seeing Leon do to those motherfucking zombies over and over and over again? They gave that motherfucker heat actions, and there's a little part in both of our brains that tingles really hard when we see something that looks like a fucking heat action from Yakuza that says, I think you might be cooking with something.
Yep.
Because I know, based on the fact of how much you've been popping off on Leon, you're liking what you're seeing. And I also know that because I'm seeing that shit and I'm going, this ain't scary, but I don't have to have something be scary for it to be fun.
Yep.
So I'm down. And the man, Leon's looking more fucking grizzled. He's looking older. He's no longer, like, he already wasn't that little fresh-faced puppy dog, you know, new recruit on day one like he was in Resident Evil 2. He ain't been that for a while. Like, that was gone in 4. It was long distant memory in 6, but now with 9, it's like, holy shit. This looks like a guy that is just done. He's fucking done. There's no professionalism left in the way that he is going to murder things. These people are undead and they keep bothering him. Therefore, put your boot in it and pull the fucking trigger. That is that entire fucking game. And it looks great.
Yeah, two things that stood out for me after watching that gameplay presentation. Because kind of like the Donkey Kong Direct from last year, I kind of needed something to really push me over the edge and say, this is a day one purchase for me. That Donkey Kong Direct definitely did it last year, and this Direct definitely did it for fucking Resident Evil this year. He took a chainsaw And normally, when somebody grabs a chainsaw, they two hands and they, cut this way or this way. This motherfucker grabbed the chainsaw, one handed, spun around, and sliced the zombie in half. And I was like, oh, that's badass. That's going to feel incredible to play. I need to play this motherfucking game. And the Grace sections, I'm probably exclusively going to play that in third person because her sections actually do look scary. And I don't do very well with real scary video games. Those sections, because how they describe how you interact with the zombies, like you could go full Metal Gear Solid stealth mode it, or you could actually just blow their brains out. And it's going to be challenging and terrifying at the same time. So here's what we're going to do. I'm streaming this game when it comes out. And I'm going to let y'all or the audience be my guides every time I play this game. Because I am not playing this shit alone in the dark. It is not happening. But there will be reactions. There will be streams. There will be screams as we play Resident Evil 9 Requiem. I'm excited for it. Zach, I want to hear from you on this one. Did you get a chance to check any of this out? How are you feeling about Resident Evil?
I'm pretty fucking excited for Requiem. I need to catch up though, because I did not play through 7 or 8, but I've played the second remake. I'm playing currently through the 4th remake, and I went back and I played 6. I have like a weird history with Resident Evil. I've hopped all over the goddamn place. So I told myself, you can't hop on 9 until you beat the Resident Evil 4 remake. So I have to hold off until that's completed, and I'm kind of hoping that Steam Machine pops out, and that makes for a good like living room playthrough. So I'm holding excitement, but for the most part, I love the concept of the idea that they're going with of merging their first-person gameplay that they've learned of, like, and kind of evolved over the last like 2 titles, and bringing in that like refined third-person stuff that they've been nailing on the remakes. Because fucking RE2 Remake, I played all the way through that thing. That was excellent. Fucking freaky, but exciting. It felt like a weird puzzle box of a Metroidvania at times. So I'm super excited to see how they evolve the world and kick in that RE4 Remake action on one end and then just make me like terrified for the other half. Like it's a good move. I really like the idea behind it. Now I just want to see it land. So while that's going on though, I'm going to have to like do kind of what Carson did and be in the dark, because I don't want to I want to spoil it for myself, because the scares don't work if you know what's around the corner. So now I've got to hold off.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like why Resident Evil Village is still a spooky game, but a lot of that was kind of like lost just because going into it, I feel like I knew so much about that game from just everybody talking about it, and of course just all the horny jokes. Where we're not getting that this
it's hard
time
to
around.
avoid that shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, they did give Grace a Lady D costume if you pre-order it. So, I feel like that's going to kind of like work its way back into this one. It wouldn't be a Capcom game if it didn't have its like overall like general horny on main audience to kind of like crack the jokes and open that well up a little bit. And Leon also gets a Porsche in this game, so that's pretty exciting as well.
And it's cool as fuck that they're going back to Raccoon City. Like, the timing of release of, like, RE4 Remake was last. I played through the RE2 Remake forever ago. Like, it's just been Leon, 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 and here comes Leon. And I'm all fucking for it. Like, I'm excited to see this dude's legacy show up, because, like, prior to the remake shit, I never played the original RE4, and I played Resident Evil 6, like, back when that game came out. And so, like Leon was still a badass in that game, but it wasn't the iconic badass that everyone loved. And now it's cool seeing the dude just get nothing but glow up over, like, the last couple of entries, and here we go, just bringing him right back into it, like Carson said. Like, he's not young anymore. He's not fumbling through everything. Dude's been seasoned, like, hardcore. Like, that fucking cast iron skillet had got some use, and now we're gonna go swing at shit with it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Hitting a zombie in the face with a cast iron skillet. That's gonna feel incredible. I
Well, at that
cannot.
point, though, you're just playing Dead Rising instead of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, also a Capcom IP. So, yeah, there could be some crossover there. Maybe in the next Dead Rising, we get a Leon Kennedy skin.
Didn't they like hand Leon for this game like a crazy ass hatchet that's reusable instead of
Yeah.
the knife? Is that the thing that's going on with this one? I've seen a little bit of gameplay about that, of him like fucking just putting it in some like zombie's back and then like suplexing him into a wall in the process.
Yeah, he has a God of War hatchet. That's right. I was just focused on that chainsaw. Like, I was ready to jump out of my seat when I saw the chainsaw mechanic, and I was just like, that's
fucking cool. Like, oh yeah, remember how that almost killed you at the opening of that other game? Well, how about we just give it to Leon this time and let
Full
him go
circle
crazy with it? Yeah, that's a nice touch. Yeah, if that parry mechanic comes back, I don't know if that's been like confirmed or not from RE4. Holy shit, dude, parrying with that hatchet is gonna feel like butter. It's gonna be so nice.
Well, since you guys didn't watch any of the like direct that they just did about it, I'm not gonna spoil anything else because it would be fucking spoilers, and I'm still gonna be excited playing this game. I can't wait. I am locking in my pre-order for this on the Switch 2. That is going to be how I play this game because apparently it runs at 60 frames per second on Switch 2, which is incredible.
Let me ask you this real quick though. Did Leon have any kind of one-liners?
So they didn't really like, from what I was watching, I didn't really hear the characters talk too much, except in one moment where I am going to kind of like spoil a little bit of this for you guys because I think it is so fucking cool and it's pivotal to like how we are going to interact with the zombies in this game. So apparently the undead in this game still remember shit that they do from their past life. So like if you encounter a zombie who is a janitor, they'll still be in the bathroom cleaning like the windows. And they only really showed voices from that clip. I didn't really hear Leon say anything else like throughout that entire fucking gameplay trailer. I'm pretty sure he has one-liners.
Because that's there's two things to that. One, I do wonder if a more like campy, humorous tone is going to really conflict with the more like actual horror elements of what was her name? Jennifer? Or no,
Grace.
I'm literally playing
Grace.
That's right.
Yeah.
Playing fucking Splatter World. Jennifer's the girlfriend in this game. No, I say that though because like to me that is part of the appeal of Leon is some of the goofy one-liners from Resident Evil 4 specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it would be really fucking funny to have those in there, but I don't know. I want it. I just don't know if it'll work, but I hope they can make it work.
I don't think we're gonna get a demo for this game. I kind of wish we got a demo for it, just to see, you know, like the first like 2 chapters with both characters, because apparently it's gonna kind of work like how Yakuza 0 works, where you switch between Grace and Leon, like you did Majima and Kiryu in that game.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. So there is not going to be, you could just do like one like campaign as one character. You got to actually experience both, which I mean, it's going to feel different playing as both of these characters, it looks like, which I'm really excited for because I like those type of games. When you get 2 characters who are just so fucking different and their play styles and gameplay styles where you just, you know, having time with both, and it can feel like a complete new experience when you tackle, you know, a mission as this character versus this character. So I'm excited for that. We actually got Zordon's Island question from Ravioli Ricky asking, where do we hope RE9 ranks on games of 2026? I think it's gonna, I'm looking at this shit right now and I could be completely off because there could just be an ass ton of video games this year, or it could just not be an ass ton of video games and this could fall off a cliff when it comes out. Don't think that's going to happen. I think this is going to be top 5.
Let me ask you
Tyler.
this. When was the last time there was a Resident Evil game, really from this entire decade, that wasn't multiplayer, but did get like a poor reception?
When did 6
critically or sales? Because I don't think it's really happened this decade so far.
No, I don't think so.
When
So
did the
I would-
RE3 remake come out? That's the only one I know of that didn't do like as awesome as the other ones.
Yeah, and that one's still not. Then if you
Yeah, it's
ask me,
not
I
bad.
don't,
It's
yeah, I
still
think
good.
it's a good game. Yeah,
It's just not as like, holy fuck, that was amazing compared to like RE2 and RE4 have been, and RE6 and 8. Or 8, sorry.
2020.
6 was the one that
So
fucking
that would
knocked
be,
everything
yeah,
down.
that would be the closest one, I think.
yeah. Oh. I think 6 was the last one that actually was just like everybody's like, no, fuck that game.
Yeah.
6 was definitely the one where they really like stopped and were like, we gotta fucking figure something out. Like this
Something
clearly is not working.
And look, it was all for the better in the end.
And I'm not gonna lie, I still had fun with 6.
Me too.
It is
I
kinda
still
funny,
think
though,
6
that,
was a
like-
fun game. Yeah.
If you like stop and think about it though, like Resident Evil 7 came, like that went first person because of the success of PT. But PT was supposed to be for Silent Hill. So if you stop and think about it for a minute, because Konami pulled the plug on that shit, Konami effectively resurrected and saved their competitor more than they did for their own fucking franchise.
Yeah,
That's the most Konami ass shit on the fucking earth.
yep. What the fuck is
At least
Konami doing right now?
2010's Konami.
Yeah. Konami lately has been pretty decent. Because they just had, 2 good Silent Hill games and a pretty, decent Metal Gear Solid remake. Also on the subject of Resident Evil, there's now reports that Code Veronica is going to get announced after the summer. Like a Code Veronica remake. And people are very
Yay.
excited about that. I've never played Code Veronica, but everybody's kind of like, that's what Resident Evil 3 should have been. So, yeah, I mean, more RE games is pretty. It seems like it's gonna happen. Have you guys played CV?
Yeah. Never played it.
Okay.
I've had it downloaded forever, but I haven't actually played it myself. And I really need to. I haven't played 0 either, but I have played 1, 2, and 3. Like the original PlayStation ones.
Yeah. See, like my Resident Evil history is Revelations 1 and 2, remake 2 and 3, 4 not remake, 6. I played a little bit of 5. Didn't play 7 because it looked too scary. Played like 6 hours of 8. And yeah, now I'm like pumped for 9. So I'm all over the place with the RE games that I've played.
Yeah, my shit's pretty similar. It's all over the place. I've only ever beaten like 3 of the games in the series, but I've played like easily more than like 10 hours on a variety of them, all up and down. Mainly like, it's kind of weird, the jump that's kind of gone around for the whole thing. That franchise is so like insanely expansive that like just kind of getting a feel for one end of it, you can kind of see where the other ones will be versus like I have no fucking idea what that's going to be like playing fucking Resident Evil 1 versus like Resident Evil 5 versus like fucking Resident Evil 8. It's like, dude, these are all such insane leaps in innovation and design by the time that it's all over. It's like, I don't think I know what that's like at a certain point, but you can kind of get somewhat of an idea where it all went. But it's crazy. Like the experiences that these guys have offered over the years is just like, damn. Like most of the time, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, and I feel like horror games kind of have to be that way, where they have to like continuously like innovate and reinvent themselves as they come along. Just because I don't know. You. We got Resident Evil 4 through 6. 4 is definitely considered the best one out of that more action-based Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
5 was divisive for other reasons outside of its just core gameplay. And apparently that was the one where Chris punched a boulder, wasn't it? That people
Yeah.
just always talk about. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then 6 was just a fucking, Fast and Furious movie. So yeah, I feel like horror games have to constantly like be doing something, which, I'm here for it. I'm excited to see what they do in this game and in the Code Veronica remake when we get that, because I'm pretty sure like after 9 I'll be like, all right, I want to play more of these games, and I'll probably like go back to RE4 remake whenever I get a chance to play that. So yeah, Resident Evil Requiem coming up real soon. February 27th. I was almost gonna say September 27th. Um let's and we'll actually use this question to segue into our next topic. Cucumber Dave, so many gaming anniversaries in 2026. Which ones are you guys more excited about and hopeful for out of Pokemon, Persona, Mario, Zelda, etc.? I'm not the Persona person on the panel. Carson, I know you played 5, right? Did you play Royal?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I did. I played through all of the original game. I got to the brand new post-game content, and then I got the quote-unquote bad ending. And the problem is that the bad ending was so satisfying and made me so happy that I wasn't compelled to complete and see the true ending, and I still haven't. Because I was also told it would be another 15 to 20 hours of gameplay, and up to that point, I put in about 120 fucking hours. And that was the second time of putting 100 hours into Persona 5, so I was kind of over it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, if you've never played it before, Royale's the way to do it. Definitely play Royal first.
I tried with P5 Royal, and I did that first dungeon, and for some reason I just could not get into it. Like, I don't know.
It doesn't always hook people the way that it hooked me.
Yeah.
When I replayed it after all those years of hearing people be like, oh, that opening, it's so slow, it's so bad, it's so blah, 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 blah. Nah, it still grabbed me. It still grabs me. That opening and like the setup and everything. I don't know what it is, but there is something about that game that really just, well, quite frankly, JT, it just tickles my taint in the right way.
You see, and I thought the opening was fine. Like, it was fast paced and, set up the plot pretty well, I thought. But it was just something else about the game where I just could not get with it. I think it was just kind of like doing like the day and night cycle shit. So I'm not sure.
Oh, you know what? Was your issue the fact that you almost had too many choices, but you purposely don't have enough time to make every choice?
Yeah.
You know what? I've heard that from a number of people where they kind of low-key get like almost choice paralysis in a way, where it's like, I have so many things that I could do, and every single one of them are going to benefit my character, but I don't know which one is going to benefit what I need in the immediate future. Ergo, all of these options are overwhelming, because what if I pick the wrong one and it doesn't boost the thing that I'm going to need in the actual dungeon?
Yeah.
Like, that's been explained to me a few different times from people that were like, I couldn't get into Persona, and that's always what they go back to. And frankly, fair. You almost have to just, in my opinion, you have to accept the fact that you are going to miss stuff, and then realize that what you are putting time into is going to compensate for the things that you aren't, if that makes sense. Like, one of the things that I did in my both of my playthroughs is I always made a point to go to the Big Bang Burger and get to a point where you could actually do the Big Bang Challenge in one sitting with the like giant burger or whatever, because once you can actually surpass that, it like ups your stats super fast.
Yeah.
Although for me, the first time I did it, it was because I wanted to see them eat that fucking burger. Gives 100 hours, I'm not losing no fucking burger. And then the second time, I knew that it boosted your stats really fast, so I went and did it again. Because I don't fucking care about no stats. I'm not gonna lose no fucking burger. Put 120 hours in this game. Fuck that burger. I'm gonna eat that burger both times, motherfucker. Fuck that burger. But that's, to me, the thing about Persona 5. And I say that as someone who normally doesn't fuck with JRPGs at all, and especially gets turned off by like anime stuff typically. Like, I've tried, but I really can't fuck with JT's Tales of games, and yet I would say they are no more, if not a bit less anime-y than fucking Persona. But something in my brain, I don't know. I guess too, because like those games tend to be high fantasy, and you gotta really do something good and right for me to fuck with high fantasy stuff. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And the fact that Persona 5 is more or less set in like a more contemporary setting,
It's more modern.
I think that does a lot for me.
Yeah, and you know, because I guess the reason, you know, we're talking about Persona right now as well is the Royal, hard for me to get into. Reload, didn't even bother. Because you didn't play Reload yet, did you?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, we got Persona 4 Revival coming up. So they're remaking that one. But also, there seems to be some Persona 6 things going on in the background as well. And the word on the street is, with this 30th anniversary of Persona that we have, is that we're going to get Persona 6 announced here pretty soon. I don't know how soon, probably summertime. And Persona 6 is going to come out in the fall of next year, and Persona 4 Revival is going to come out in the spring of next year. Kind of like how they did P3 Reload and then Metaphor Fantasio. Which you didn't play that because, yeah, you just said you don't fuck with high fantasy, and that's definitely the highest of fantasy.
Yes, sir.
It's almost as high as fantasy as Final Fantasy.
Man.
But yeah, so it seems like the Persona anniversary is about to, you know, kick off in a very big way. But while we're on the subject, we also have the first announcement from the Pokemon 30th anniversary being Legos. I know there's some people on this here very show that fuck with Legos. I would love to fuck with some Legos, but I will not be touching this set for $700. Even if, you know, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time is included in the set, and that being Charizard, along with Venusaur and Blastoise. These Legos look really cool. There was a Pikachu coming out as well. I think Pikachu is like 100 and it's either 250 or 200. And then there's an Eevee as well, and a Pokemon Center. So that has started the Pokemon 30th, which we'll get more announcements about that next month also, with Pokemon Day coming up. Pokemon Generation 10 is right around the corner. We got Mario's 40th anniversary. That's already kicked off. We got Mario Tennis Fever dropping next month. We got Yoshi in the coloring book or Wonderful Book, whatever it's called.
Yoshi's Big Fucking Book.
Yeah, that game. We also got the Mario Wonder expansion coming. But I think there's going to be more announced for Mario's 40th, along with the movie as well. Who else? We got Sonic's 35th happening this year. And that, kicked off with a pretty cool trailer that I thought just, went over the entire history of 3D Sonic from what it looked like. So it seems like we're going to get some more 3D Sonic announced later this year as well. Don't know when. There's one in particular that we talked about briefly before we started the show, and that being The Legend of Zelda. I want to talk a little bit about that. 'Cause I know that is a franchise that we're all very into. I know we're into a lot of those franchises that are getting anniversaries this year. Metroid is also having its, I think, 40th anniversary this year. Um, The Legend of Zelda is about to kick off in a big way, I feel like, because there's a movie coming out in the spring of next year. But I know the movie's not going to be it. And we've talked a little bit about it on this show before. Because I believe there is some Ocarina of Timeness happening in the background. That also got a Lego set here recently. That's going to be coming out this March. That being the Link. They spoiled the ending of Ocarina of Time for anybody who's wondering. Because they just showed the final battle. But there's some things in that Lego set that they showed that don't happen in the OG Ocarina of Time. Which, I went outside. I said I needed to catch a train. The train that I needed to catch was at Speculation Station. So I hopped in this motherfucking train, and my brain just started racing. Why would Link be jumping off of the tower to strike Ganondorf when that never happened in the game? Because it's going to be happening in a remake that's going to be coming later this year. And then I landed at my stop. Speculation Station was over. So my question to you fellas is, with all that being said about this Lego set and The Legend of Zelda showing things that didn't happen in the past but could be happening in the future, does that get you guys, wanting to buy a ticket to Speculation Station along with me, or where are y'all at?
Fuck no. Because here's the thing. You're right. There are a lot of anniversaries this year. So far, I've been given no reason to give a shit about any of them, and that includes Mario. I'm sorry. Mario is a fucking video game series. You are not getting me excited about the anniversary of a video game when the centerpiece to your video game anniversary is a fucking film. I'm sure I'll enjoy that film. Yeah, I'm going to go see it. But not because it's the anniversary. I'm just going to go fucking see it because it's the fucking Mario. It's the fucking Mario movie.
I agree with that.
Like, everyone and their grandma's going to go fucking see it. It's just so odd that there's all these anniversaries this year. And even though they're anniversaries of video games, and yes, we are very early in the year, I recognize that, so I'm not getting too uppity about it. But it is strange that none of them actually have anything announced as far as,
like a new game,
a fucking video game. I just find that bizarre, and I can't get excited and speculate over shit when these companies are very good about disappointing me with the information that they give me. I don't want to come up with something that sounds good only for them to not do it because they were never going to do it. Fucking Microsoft tells me all the time they're going to do something that sounds cool. Hey, you want to do Perfect Dark? We're going to make it like an iSim with a fucking futuristic, utopian cyber future. Not this fucking cyberpunk dystopian stuff. It's a utopia. There's clearly issues, but everything is very clean. Doesn't this look different and interesting? It's not just another scuzzy future. Fuck yourself. It's canceled. Like, I'm not going to sit here. I'm sorry. I know it's a Debbie Downer, but I can't speculate on this shit when these fuckers can't even commit to telling us any ideas that they have, let alone seeing those ideas through.
Yeah, and
Now,
I get
if I wanted to play along and not be a dick, I do think that an Ocarina of Time remake would be the worst fucking idea on the whole goddamn planet. I don't want no remakes. I want new shit. At best, what I would accept slightly would be if they were like, okay, so we're going to take the fucking 3DS ports and we're going to put them on Switch and we're going to keep all the gyro shit so you can do it with your controllers, so the aiming with the arrows aren't ass. And I'd go, okay, that's fine. That's fine. You can do that. They won't. But that would be about the only one that I think I would be cool with. I do not want them to remake games that do not need remakes. And Ocarina of Time absolutely, positively does not need a remake. You know what? You know what? Here's something I'll play with. Here's something I'll play with. I want them to remake a Zelda game. And I want them to make it better. And I want it to be Zelda 2.
that'd be a
I
good
want
pick.
them to remake Zelda 2 with a new art style, with, in my opinion, better controls, because I fucking hate how Link controls in that game. I hate the platforming. Tighten all that shit up. Give it a fresh coat of paint. Expand on the dungeons. Give it some actually fun platforming. You can change some things around so that's a little bit easier to figure out. Fuck me. You could even adjust a little bit and use that cutesy little art style that you did for the Link's Awakening and the Princess Zelda whatever game that I never played. You can use that. That would be the one remake that they could do that I would be totally on board for. And there's plenty of people who will not agree with me on that. There's a lot of people that I know personally that love Zelda 2 as it is, think I'm a fucking moron for not, sucking it off immediately. But I'm not a fucking fan of it. And I would be A-okay if they remade that mofo, because I think it needs it. That'd be the only Zelda game off the top of my head that I'd want them to remake. Because it's not even the worst one. Like, Triforce Heroes is trash, but don't remake that either. Please, for the love of God, don't waste your time. That's just a lost cause right there.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, we don't get Triforce Heroes remade for other reasons. I feel like, I want to hear from Zach, and then I got some opinions, and then we got an actual question about this very topic as well.
Yeah, I've been kind of hanging back and just let Carson say his piece, because in many ways I totally agree with him. I don't think that I want to see a remake of Ocarina of Time. I think there's only one specific situation where I do want to see them do it, and it's not to like report the 3DS games, because honestly, like, other than getting that shit on modern hardware outside of the like expansion pass or the N64 emulator, like, I think those games play totally fine for what they are. I want to see the next 3D Zelda game do original Zelda dungeons with Breath of the Wild open world and original Zelda items, and go that kind of route. And if that's what they're thinking of doing for an Ocarina of Time remake, and try to merge those two formulas together and then put a new coat of paint on it and call it Ocarina of Time the fucking Ocarinaing, I'll be there for it. But for the most part, like, if that's not what they're planning on doing, I don't really know what the fuck you change about that game to make it better, because it was the fucking era-defining 3D action-adventure game. So, like, that formula, to me, personally, has already been done better by other RPGs that have gone out and made third-person RPGs like The Witcher 3. But Zelda is Zelda, and they do their own formula, so they didn't have to evolve down an RPG route. They had to go do more Zelda stuff. So, like, I really don't know how you fucking make that game better when other games already did it. And so like I want to see that weird merging of it. And that like my idea for the next like 3D Zelda game that merges those two formulas together doesn't even need to be an Ocarina of Time remake necessarily to like make that work. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. If they want to do it, sure, I'm going to be highly skeptical until I really see that thing in motion, because I don't know how the fuck you wrap your head around doing that shit twice, but also Nintendo is like one of the last institutional knowledge places in video gaming history currently of its inception that genuinely has all of its talent still there and working on the same problems for literal decades. So if anyone's going to fucking pull it off, it would be Nintendo themselves, but I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know how you make a masterpiece video game better than what it was without just doing a different thing. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. We got this from Ash Anus. I know people keep saying Ocarina of Time is getting a remake, but if it was me, I would remake Twilight Princess in a new art style so that way it doesn't look like jank 10 years later. I would love to see Twilight Princess kind of have that like fresh coat of paint that was shown in that Wii U fucking tech demo that they showed.
Oh yeah, dude, I've been saying this forever. Fucking go off right now. That's what I'm talking about.
Which apparently that is the same engine as Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So I think that could be done. That'd be really fucking cool. But I don't think that we're going to see... I think if we get Twilight Princess this year, it's just going to be the double pack between that and Wind Waker HD. Or
yeah,
Twilight Princess is just popped into NSO. I could honestly see that happening at the next Direct where they're just like, hey, this is available today.
Yeah, also yeah to that one. I really wish they would put more effort into a Twilight Princess HD port or remake.
Yeah,
I was really hoping that was going to be the case when it was coming to Wii U, but it was really just an up-res on the texturing and everything else stayed the same, because you already sold me on the fact that you can do that shit with their demo. Like, why not go all the way? But I get it. It probably wasn't going to make them that much money to like fully redo every single model and lighting particle and engine just to get a fucking crazy demo-ass thing looking like Zelda. But that's also the thing I really want to see in the back of my head as a fan. Like, I love the Breath of the Wild art style. I love it when Zelda does cool cell shading stuff. The interesting way they brought in watercolor aesthetics into like Skyward Sword will always be in the back of my head when it comes to their cell shading technology, and then leaning into that a little bit more into fucking Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but kind of like getting their own version of it. Like, it's cool. I like the look. It really fits for Zelda, but you told me so many years ago that you could do this thing, and you haven't tried to follow it up, and I want to know why not, because you could do really cool stuff with it if you went down that dark fantasy route again, but they just don't do it. I don't know why not.
Well, if my math is correct and Square Enix is the barometer to go off of, let's see here. When was that Wii U trailer? Was it 2012?
2011 or 2012, one of those two. It might have been 2011, because I think that's when they first showed the Wii U, right?
That sounds right.
I remember. I think so.
Yeah, it was 2011, so it must have been then. So,
Jeez. Gee, goodness gracious. That was a long time ago.
Just don't think about it.
I mean, I keep thinking, we talked about 2016 earlier, and 2016 was 10 years ago, because, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, just don't think about it.
So if my math is right, and Square Enix is the ones to base this on, we should actually get that this year. Because they did the tech demo that everybody wanted in 2005 of Final Fantasy VII on the PS3, And I cannot tell you the number of people who told me I bought a PS3 because I want Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Final Fantasy VII remake, because you saw that video. They're remaking Final Fantasy VII. Why would they have that video? It must be coming. Bro, I'm not even kidding you. My roommate in college was telling me that. And to be clear, folks, when I say roommate in college, that video came out in 2005. My roommate in college was in 2012. 7 years later, a year before the PS4 was coming out, and he was insisting that he was going to get Final Fantasy VII on his PS3 soon. And this is before they actually announced any proper Final Fantasy VII remake. Which brings me to my point that did finally come out, not for the PS3, but for the PS4 in 2020. Therefore, that's a 15-year gap. If they showed off that, if that's anything to go by, and granted, that's only one example. One's an example, two's a coincidence, three's a pattern. This is just an example. So that's all it is for now. Comma, but if that's anything to go off of, we should be getting a remake of Twilight Princess this year. Now, are we going to? Absolutely not. But if we do, I'm right, and JT owes me $20.36. And if I'm wrong, I owe him nothing.
Wait, why do I have to pay money for this?
There was that. The sound of that was about 20 different jokes dying because I wasn't sure if they were safe to say or not. So we're just gonna go with that. This is your show, so you got to foot the bill.
All right, you know, I don't like it, but you know, I'll have my people reach out to your people.
Welcome to living in America. I don't like it, but I'll have to fucking deal with it.
Exactly.
See, now here's the thing, though. Now that I've manifested that, something that I actually fucking want, like, I don't know, a house or a retirement fund, those aren't going to happen. But oh boy, I bet here in 6 weeks we'll get a fucking announcement of Twilight Princess, because I can't be right about shit that matters. I can only be correct about stupid ass shit. Because remember the last time I made a fucking joke? Yeah. Remember the last time I made a joke, boys, when I said, oh, what do you do for a Metroid movie? That doesn't seem very Metroid, but you could have a talking sidekick that never shuts the fuck up. And then what happened? What happened? A week later, Metroid Prime 4 comes out and everybody's bitching about a sidekick that never shuts the fuck up. Yep. So now that I've made this stupid joke about Twilight Princess, it's gonna fucking be true.
Hey, you know, you're probably right about, well, maybe not 6 weeks.
I'm gonna drive off a fucking bridge if it's true. So just send the $20 and 34 cents to my wife. Oh my god, you money grubbing hoe! I told you originally $20.36. And then just now I forgot the cent amount, so I said 34. This bitch is in the fucking room, and she goes 36 cents. Because it's not, oh, don't kill yourself. It's, well, if someone's going to send me money, bitch better get the money right. She needs that 2 whole cents, fellas. Oh, my God. I got to be taken care of if you're gone. Jesus God almighty.
Hey, that's investment money.
Yeah, apparently.
Take out that policy.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably find out sooner than 6 weeks because we are currently entering the time where we are starting to get announcements of video game conferences. And I do believe there is going to be a Nintendo Direct here pretty soon, probably around the first, second week of February, which the end of
That's
next
usually
week.
When they do it.
Yeah. End of next week is fucking February, so, or beginning of February. So we should find out.
So question. When was the last like regular Nintendo Direct? Like not like a Pokemon or like focused on just like Animal Crossing or Tamagotchi or Donkey Kong or whatever. Like, when was the last time they just had like, this is just a Nintendo Direct and we're gonna announce software and whatever
September.
Whatever other bullshit. Was it September?
Yeah, they kind of went back to their normal-ish scheduling after the Switch 2 was like out. Because we did get that like that hour-long Direct in September where they announced all the Mario shit, dates for like Metroid Prime 4 and like some other games and stuff, and that's where we got the Fire Emblem announcement, was in that Direct. So it does seem like we're back to normal from what they were doing, because I know 2024, early 2025, it was abnormal. But that made sense because new consoles fucking coming out. And also, they have their investors briefing next week as well. So they like to line the directs up right around time they have to speak to the investors, it seems like, and let them know this is what our plans are for the year. So yeah, we should have some concrete information here pretty soon. I still think whatever Monolith Soft is cooking, I think is a Legend of Zelda game. And I think, me personally, I do believe it's Ocarina of Time related. I'm not 100% sold on it being a full-on remake of Ocarina of Time. It could be, but I'm getting the vibe that this is going to be a Ocarina of Time sequel, is what we're about to get. Like, I
know what I could fuck with, actually.
Hit me.
They'll never do this, and I don't know how you could make it work. But like, spoilers, folks, if you haven't played a game that is quite literally 30 years old at this point, there is a gap in that game. That's the whole point. From young Link to adult Link, when you pull out the Master Sword.
Mm-hmm.
I could fuck with a whole game where you don't play as Link or Zelda, but you are playing as Ganon taking over Hyrule during that gap period.
That'd be fucking awesome.
That'd
be so, yeah.
Now, here's the thing. They've already proven with fucking what was it? Age of Calamity? They've already proven they get fucking cold feet showing any kind of hero facing like defeat.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no fucking faith that they'll do that. That's Mr. Cynical having to come in and throw cold water on the party. But if they did, that would be the one thing that would get me like, okay, yeah, I'm good with this.
I think you're on to something. I don't think it's going to be... Because I do think they could do the gap. But I think we get some sort of like weird, like trippy fucking game where you do still play as Link, because they don't do villain games for whatever reason. We have not gotten a Bowser like solo game. I think a fucking Bowser solo game would be awesome. But it doesn't seem like they really tap into the well that they're going to just do a straight on like, hey, you play as the villain in this game. For whatever fucking reason, I think we get the 7-year gap. This is where I'm kind of like leaning into this is an Ocarina of Time sequel-ish game where you still end up at the end of Ocarina of Time at some point. I think that 7-year gap, you do play as Link still. And you just do some sort of like weird world. He's in like a different world doing his fucking training. That's how it becomes so powerful by the time he gets back into like, you know, that 7-year timeline. I think they could do some weird shit with that.
I don't know, because I feel like that almost might be too big of a... Because that's just like... Unless I'm misunderstanding, I always took it as like him pulling out the Master Sword and going through time. That's like pretty much all like one motion, so to speak.
Yeah. Which our perception
so
of
like
time is fucking flawed.
I feel like... I don't know. Because I could also see something where it's like, well, we don't want to do a Ganon game where you got to play as Ganon. And that's fair, because I feel like there's a lot of shit with like playing as the villain, you can't really put him through like dungeons and shit. What's he gonna do? Fight the dungeon bosses and stuff? Like, yeah.
He could just fight the Sheikah.
You know what you can do? Is you make a game where you play as Zelda and you play as Sheik. And that's how Sheik is able to show up in all these dungeons later on in the game and be like, hey, motherfucker, look at all this knowledge I have. I'm going to drop it on your head. Bye.
That would also be fucking cool.
That could work because then you have the 7-year gap. You got plenty of story to tell in there about Zelda getting trained up, becoming Sheik, all that shit. You have a reason to go to those dungeons again. To all these different like iconic locales, but Link ain't there yet. Ain't there yet. That I could see that working too. And that probably would work better with the Ganon game. And if anything else, simply based on the fact that you're absolutely right, JT. And to be fair, I get why they don't. But they don't do any kind of villain games. And I mean, really, who does? It's not like we have a Dr. Robotnik game out there or a Dr. Wily game per se.
I mean, we've had Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Like,
that's just fucking Puyo with a fucking Sonic skin.
It still fucking counts.
I mean, at that point too, though, then you can also say, well, we got the fucking Dr. Light, Dr. Wily fucking board game thing that was on Famicom. So whatever, I guess that counts too. Go fuck myself. But no, I just kind of look at it like that. Like that would be something I would be okay with because they did that Link Between Worlds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like that's kind of sort of sequel to Link's Awakening, like kind of sort of from what I understand.
Yeah.
Or not Link's Awakening. Fucking Link to the Past. And like I'm cool with that if you want.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess you could do some kind of like sequel to Ocarina and just have it be Link and just do whatever. That's another question. Here's something I want to pose and then we can move on. But I have a really good question for both of you two. It's going to sound weird, but what age do you think Link will be in the next game? Because for the longest time, he was just a kid. Ocarina comes along, boom, there's adult Link for the first time, and everybody goes, oh my god, as I remember it, all the boys went, whoa, that's so cool. And all the girls went, whoa, he's so cute. And that's how people kind of fell in love with that adult Link. Because I very much remember adult Link almost being like a facsimile for like future Trunks.
Yeah.
Like the boys that were in my grade in like the second grade that really loved adult Link also really loved future Trunks. Kid Trunks, not so much. Kid Link, not so much. But the adult versions or the older versions of those, those were fucking cool. So like, I wonder if they go back to the Kid Link at this point because I don't think they will.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will either. Yeah. I think that's kind of like a bygone of the era at this point.
I think you're right, and I'm not like upset about it or anything, but it makes me wonder if you're going to do an Ocarina of Time sequel and you're going to use Link, then it's obviously got to take... Because here's the deal, is the Majora's Mask Link, is that the same one as Ocarina of Time? Because I thought it was, but off the top of my head, I don't know for sure.
Yeah, Majora's Mask is pretty much a sequel to Ocarina of Time.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why when you kept saying sequel to Ocarina of Time, it's like, well, that's kind of sort of Majora is what I've understood. But I want to say and who knows, I can't even fucking keep up with like
the timeline
I care about,
let
alone the ones I don't. And so I don't even know with Zelda because like I've heard there was an official timeline, but that it's been wiped or some shit. So who fucking knows?
I don't think it's been wiped. I think it's been reestablished because the timeline as we like what we know currently, the current games in the fucking timeline. Basically, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Echoes of Wisdom. Um, Echoes of Wisdom does take place after the split in the adult timeline, I want to say, is what they established, where Breath and Tears take place so far into the future that everything prior to that is like an urban fucking legend. Um, so I don't know what they do as far as it seems like everything that fucking Aonuma has been saying in interviews, because he's been referencing, and when he references games, he kind of like spoils like shit that's going on. And this is why I do think we're getting something Ocarina related, because people have been asking him, and he's been given the cheeky, I don't know response. You'll have to wait and see, things like that. And last time that he did that was Skyward Sword HD, where people were asking him about that, and he's just like, oh, I don't know, like maybe. And then it fucking comes out a year after that. So I don't know what they really think about when they think Legend of Zelda and where the direction that they want to take those characters. I don't think you like go too far off of Breath and Tears, Link and Zelda, because of the audience is that they've accumulated over this point in time. Because both of those games combined, I think, are like fucking almost 60 million copies sold. So it doesn't make much sense to kind of reinvent the wheel in that aspect, where you still want a recognizable version of Link and Zelda. So I don't know. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other aspect I didn't even really consider, is how like previously I don't feel like the Zelda audience has really necessarily cared that it's the same, in quotes, the same Link, the same Zelda, the same whatever. But I feel like now with Breath of the Wild and Tears, I think you're right, JT. If I do think that if they deviate from that too much, there are fans now, like my wife, like I was talking about, who like they knew Zelda, but they weren't like super into it beforehand. And now that they've played the Kingdom games, now they're like, well, fuck, this shit rules.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wonder if pivoting on that too much would drive that audience away, or if they're locked in. Because I don't know. It's very clear that both of those games had a lot of things that hit with the mainstream audiences in a way that previous Zelda games did not. Like, these are by far the most successful games in the entire franchise.
Yeah.
So Courtney whispered, because they're perfect. But I do wonder for that, for like the sequels and what you do next. It's definitely a very precarious position, because you do have that loud Zelda contingent. Man, you want to talk about like the original like entitled fan base. That used to be Zelda.
Man.
Ooh,
Yeah.
for the longest time, man. It's weird to have been around long enough to be like, I remember a point in time where people didn't say shit about Sonic fans. It was Zelda fans that they shit on all the time. And then it became Sonic fans. And now it's just, if you like anything and you're vocal about it, you're probably a shithead. 99.9% of the time, that proves to be the case.
Yeah, because I remember when people fucking hated Twilight Princess. And then now all of a sudden everybody loves Twilight Princess. And I'm just like, well, hold on. Y'all were shitting on this game 10 years ago before we got to the wild era of Zelda. And now you guys hate that, but you love the old shit again. So it's confusing sometimes, but I feel like we're going to get to new Zelda games, and Link and Zelda are going to look similar to how they looked in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But people are going to hate it because it's a little different, and everybody's going to love those games again.
Also, too, if you look at it, there's a lot of like cyclical takes, especially in video games, but really in all media, but especially video games, if something is 10 years old, everybody's going to hate it and say it's fucking dog shit. But then when it's 20 years old, they're going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go back to 2016, as Breath of the Wild was coming out, you're right. That's when everybody was shitting all over Twilight Princess, rightly so, saying how it looked like shit and wasn't particularly great, especially for the high caliber that Zelda typically is. But now, 10 years down the road, we're about a decade with the Kingdom games, at least with Breath of the Wild, and we are 20 years, almost 20 years, it'll be 20 years in November, away from Twilight Princess.
Goodness.
So I think part of that, too, is that when you remember stuff from 10 years ago, that means you've been alive probably for 10 years, maybe not, but like, I'm trying to think of the better way to put this. Feel like whenever you have something and you can look back 10 years, you can be like, that sucked, what I have now is better. But when it's 20 years, you might not even have been around like the period that you have a fondness for. And I say that because I'm seeing a lot of younger, like the young generation now is really romanticizing the 2000s. I mean, really, really romanticizing like 2000, 2001, 2002. Sometimes 2003. I've even seen up to 2005, but it is bizarre, and it is not people that grew up in that era. It's like the kids that are teenagers now that were born in like 2009, 2010, 2011, 2008, something like that.
Yeah.
And I say all that because I remember being that age, 2006, 2007, 2008, when I was around that age, and having a real affinity for the 80s, even though I was not born until 91, and really kind of romanticizing in my head how great the 80s was. Until I actually talk to people who lived through the 80s and have the exact same reaction that I have now when I hear that there are teenagers that have a fondness for the 2000s. They say how great everything was in the year 2000. So amazing. And then my happy ass can go, are you sure about that? Because I actually lived it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not just Zelda, and I am getting a little esoteric here, but my point is, I think that with Zelda and with how outspoken their fans can be, it's not even slightly surprising that we suddenly have a new affinity for Twilight Princess, and the latest direction that the series has taken is now almost 10 years old. So that means it's old and boring and needs to be shit on. This is not applicable to everything. This is not applicable to every series, but it is applicable to every media genre.
Yeah, I feel like that is definitely like the case. It will. I mean, it's going to be interesting when we get to this point with Skyward Sword, because are people still going to, because everybody shits on Skyward Sword. I love Skyward Sword. I think that's one of the most beautiful Zelda games to ever come out. And everybody shits on it for the controls. But are we going to get to that point?
There are some takes that are kind of evergreen and don't change even with time.
Yeah.
I don't know if Skyward Sword is one such thing, but I mean, like, another example would be like Sonic 06. 10 years ago, you had a lot of people who said Sonic 06 fucking sucks.
And now everybody loves it.
But equally loud contingent who says Sonic 06 fucking sucks. Now you have people that will say Sonic 06 fucking sucks. But you have a bigger, louder contingent that goes, nuh-uh, no it doesn't, because they've only played Project 06. But it's hardly a controversial take in 2026 to say the game from 20 years ago called Sonic the Hedgehog on PlayStation 3 and Xbox was X. It was. even if you like it, there are inherent problems with that game that should not be there, and it is proven that the game plays better when those things are not present.
Yeah. Can we get to this point with Sonic Lost World? Because I love that game. Like,
You do?
I
But
just
you
want to.
hated it.
No, I love Lost World is one of my like absolute like favorite 3D Sonic games.
Jeez.
Forces is ass. But yeah, I want to get
Oh,
there
yeah,
with Sonic Lost World.
Lost World, I could at least see there being a tinge of something you could do with it. Forces is just a lost cause.
Yeah,
Like
like
I kind of love the idea behind Forces, but the execution is so poor that there's just no saving it. You would have to go back to the drawing board on that one.
like you said, it should have been a Muso game.
If only.
Yep.
If only.
Zach, we haven't heard from you in a while. You got any remarks you want to add to this discussion about video game anniversaries, especially Zelda?
Yeah, when it comes to the discussion that's been going on right now, I totally agree with Carson on the fucking early 2000s thing. It's kind of wild to watch. But it's like, I've just kind of hit this point of like every generation has a nostalgia angle, and we just are going to live through this one, and it'll be this way now for us. And like, I wasn't even fucking like back when the nostalgia that they were coming through, like I was born in fucking 97, so I was not that like conscious to the shit that was happening, other than I remember what 9/11 was. So like the rest of it is all like, oh dude, I don't know. But I totally get it of like, yeah, it's going to get weird because people are going to get nostalgic for every fucking time period, even though the bad parts about it, and you're going to live through it and see, oh shit, dude, I was there. It was not what you thought it was, and it's just going to go like that for forever. When it comes to the anniversary stuff, though, I don't know. I'm really excited, and I'm glad to see that all of these games are coming up at their major anniversary notes. Nintendo has been kind of weirdly lazy about some of their anniversaries here and there, that I'm kind of at a point with it where I don't really know if you're gonna get something good out of it or not.
Yeah.
Like, they treat some of them with this huge prestige, and then you get these really cool moments, and then other times you think they would do it again, and then fucking nothing rolls around.
They treat two of them with prestige. They treat Mario and Pokemon with prestige. Pokemon gets the fucking Queen's treatment, and Mario is just, it's Mario. So you're always gonna get something. Everything else is kind of like, we like it.
It's all up in the air. Right. Yeah. And so there's gonna be, and I remember the last time that Zelda got a huge anniversary was the 25th, and I think that was for the release of Skyward Sword.
It was, because I had the golden Wii remote.
Yeah, so like, they do come around, and they do give a fuck. I can't believe it's been that long, dude. Oh my god. I kind of have the 25th anniversary logo for Zelda's shit kind of burned into my brain.
Same.
But for the most part, like, yeah, dude, I don't know if they really would. They're very much in the camp of just like, oh, it's the 40th anniversary. We already had this thing lined up, so let's just fucking slap a sticker on it and just send it out the door and be like, oh, cool, we did this for you guys, but we were actually working on it for fucking 5 years behind the scenes, but it just lined up when it was ready. And so, like, I kind of see that's how a lot of this year is probably going to go. If they really do show up, like, bang, first slide you see is a big 40, and then there's all these cool announcements after the fact, I will be genuinely fucking excited, but I don't think that's really how this is going to play out. I think they're just going to walk up and like, yeah, it's a 40th anniversary, and we have this thing. I mean, because, like, also at the end of the year, or end of the day, this Zelda is a yearly franchise for Nintendo. There's always a Zelda product that comes out, side hustle or remake or new entry, whatever the fuck it's going to be. Technically, last year we got the new entry, so this year is the fucking remake, unless they decide to do a spin-off. I really don't think it's going to be a spin-off, though. I think we are headed for, like, Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess dual bundle ever since the Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 bundle is now proven to be in existence. I can't see why they wouldn't just reapply that real quick and slap it out the door.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the most I expect from them, to be honest. And then maybe in the summer, like a little bit of a tease for what the next Zelda game will be like, and then that won't release until like sometime next year. But even then, like, I don't know, man. I wish they would do more. I wish they would go like Year of Luigi, and then we just get a bunch of weird shit from Zelda all year long that has not a lot to do with anything, but it's all fun and strange.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it. They are so fucking wishy-washy about when they want to take something seriously for anniversaries and when they don't, that I just can't apply anything to it until it gets to be the 50th. Like, I think because of how hard they went on 25th, they'll be like, it's half a century, we have to do something spectacular, and then they will. But for the 40th, I think maybe they'll just go, and it's the 40th anniversary, thank you very much to the fans. Here is another game that we were already making.
Here's I don't disagree with anything that you just said, because like you said, they are wishy-washy with gaming anniversaries. You know, fucking didn't Mother celebrate its anniversary last year? That's a Nintendo IP, and I think all we got was t-shirts.
Yeah,
Bro,
exactly,
there's way
dude.
more
That's what I
IPs that
mean.
like. There's more IPs that they fucking ignore the anniversaries of than ones they actually celebrate. Like,
Exactly.
fuck, the last Metroid one they didn't give a shit about.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, and Metroid is having another anniversary this year, which I do think we will get. I don't think it's going to be announced this year, but I do know the follow-up to Dread is in development. I think that's going to be a 2027 game from things that I've heard. And also things that I've heard that kind of like play into this discussion as well. There's going to be a lot of fucking amiibo that come out this year. And apparently a lot of these amiibo are Zelda related and Mario related as well. And I also heard a weird one that there's going to be a Sonic amiibo. So I guess we'll see what that looks like at the end of the year.
I'm slightly surprised that hasn't been a thing before.
Yeah. Well, we got
Not
the
a
Sonic
ton, but
Smash.
slightly, just because, like, Amiibo is nothing like it was 10, 12 years ago, obviously.
Mhm.
But between the fervor of people that will buy shit just because it's Nintendo and the fervor of people that will buy shit just because it's Sonic, I feel like you could get away with making some stupid Sonic figures and selling them for $20 a pop or whatever, and they'd sell pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the
At
Sonic
this
amiibo did
point, though,
pretty
you
well.
might as well just be like, okay, we're gonna make a Sonic and we're gonna make a Shadow, and then we'll see how those do, and then the rest we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, there's already a Sonic one because they made one for Smash,
Mhm.
but beyond that, I could see them making one for, like, I don't know, whatever the next Sonic is, and then you throw Shadow in there and all that shit.
Yeah.
And I could see them also jumping on wanting to put more amiibo. Well, I take that back, because I feel like even Nintendo doesn't push amiibo that much anymore. They're almost like more collectible figurines than like
That's
actually
it, yeah.
adding much to your game, which arguably is what they always were, but like especially now. I couldn't tell you the last, probably Mario Maker 2 was like the last one that I can remember there being like some level of amiibo functionality. And even then, I take that back, because I just remembered they got rid of the hats in Maker 2, didn't they? That was just Maker
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, it was Maker
So yeah,
1.
fuck, I don't know.
I couldn't tell
Yeah, I
you
don't
because I still like have like my amiibos that I like. I couldn't tell you
Oh,
last
same.
time like I sit like at my desk playing a game that has full on function amiibo functionality, and I go, oh fuck, I should scan this amiibo. I always forget. So,
Yeah, I didn't scan the fucking Metroid amiibo once for all of Metroid Prime 4.
see,
I had every fucking opportunity to do that, and I beat that game. I didn't fucking even try.
yeah,
I just have it just because I fucking want it on my desk.
yeah, that right there. But yeah, I mean, there's still people out there that buy them with the game, and they do help sell games because the Kirby amiibos came out and those actually look pretty cool. They're just expensive. Um, but yeah, I
Well, fuck,
mean,
that was also part of the appeal of the fucking amiibos that they've really just been like, fuck you about, which is the fact that they were like, when they first came out, they were like, what, $12?
yeah, now
$13?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
They were like
40.
super cheap. That's what made them so cool and like easy to collect.
Yeah.
How much are they now?
The Kirby amiibo were 50.
Fuck off! Are you kidding me?
No,
For plastic statues?
no, they're big as fuck,
Go fuck
but
yourself.
they're expensive. Yeah, so I was like, I love Kirby. I love Kirby Air Riders. I do not love spending $50 for something to just sit on my shelf.
Yeah, no. No.
Yeah.
No.
Um,
Fuck no. I got enough shit that's cool that I can just sit on a shelf to do nothing. I don't need to buy more.
same.
The last amiibo I bought was at like February 2024, and it was the Banjo-Kazooie one, and it's still been sitting in the package on my nightstand since then. 'Cause I've just like, I don't even feel the desire to like take it out and put it with all the rest of them. I never have. Mostly because I have them put in a place that they're so high up you can't even really see them, because I want to make sure our cats wouldn't fuck with them. But
Yeah.
a whole lot of good that's done me, because I've barely looked at my amiibos for the last 5 years since we fucking moved in. But I died fucking grass.
I have to send you guys a picture of my amiibo shelves. I have 2 shelves, and I'm like, okay, like I'm probably only gonna get a couple more amiibos. I'll probably get whatever like cool Link figure we get this year, and the other one that I heard is gonna be some sort of Luigi figure. And of course, there's the Mario and Rosalina ones that are coming out as well. I don't think I'm gonna get those because it's also expensive. Um, but yeah, I'll send you guys a picture of what that's looking like. I still like my amiibos. I think they're fucking cool. The Metroid ones, the newer ones, are really fucking cool.
Yeah, I will give it to Nintendo. The price sucks, but the quality of their manufacturing and artistic ability on those things has gone like way up.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the OG Link Smash Bros one from Smash 4 versus the Tears of the Kingdom shit, dude, it is like night and day, like the level of like production quality on these things. Now, should it be fucking $50-$60? No.
Yeah.
It's fucking way too expensive for these things. But they do look amazing now, and they do not skimp on the details, and the fucking capabilities of getting these poses is like so much better than it used to be.
I fully agree with that. Let's move on a little bit. We got a couple of questions in Zordon's outlet I want to get to, and then we'll finish our last topic of the evening. We got Side Dick Left saying, I'm with JT on this. It is weird that YouTubers keep throwing out price increases like they want it to happen. Why can't we expect the unexpected and say that the price will not increase? It is weird to just have that thought in our minds. Yeah, it is weird. I don't want prices to increase. So I've been on the record of saying no price increases this year, knowing that they very well could happen because just the world is fucking crazy. But I'm manifesting no price increases this year. Fuck, drop.
I don't know. I hope not. I can't afford this shit right now. Please do not fucking boost anything beyond my means. I would like to enjoy some stuff. But I am the side of things that I'm on with gaming now that I have my Switch 2. I am guaranteed to be fucked by price increases no matter what, because DRAM modules are so goddamn expensive to just own in my own house that there is no way a Steam frame and or Steam machine are going to not get hit by these things at this point. So I'm screwed. I don't even know what the original price of those consoles is going to be. I'm just going to get to see the one that is hyperinflated due to bullshit. So yeah, please don't raise the prices of nonsense, but we're already past that point, so please bring them back down. I'm just stuck here. This is what I get for wanting like highly customizable PC gaming hardware, I guess. But you know, just I picked the hobby. This is what I wanted to spend my free time doing. I chose this. It was either this or like at least my money sink isn't like fucking Cars or something. That'd be
Yeah, I was
times
gonna.
worse than this.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you were in the Cars, brother, let me tell you something. That shit looks fucking insane. Yeah, Drop the price. Drop the price. We got Nutsack saying, recently I played X-Men Origins Wolverine on my 360, and it's still one of the most fun superhero games out there. For me, made me super hyped for Marvel's Wolverine. Do you guys have any expectations for it? And do you hope we get more superhero games in 2026? And if so, which ones?
Well, if it's anything like Spider-Man 2, I expect that I won't give a flying fuck about it. I played that first Spider-Man and I really liked it. And then they announced a second one and I thought, God damn, I bet that'll be a lot of fun. And then it came out on Steam. I said, God damn, I need to get that. And now 2 years later, however long it's fucking been, it's still sitting in my Steam wish list. I haven't touched it. I have no desire to touch it. I'm also waiting for a discount that I'm sure will never come. And even if it does, I'm not sure that I'll commit to it. Because I'm really burnt the fuck out on superheroes as it is. But also, I don't know what it is. It's just like, that looks like more Spider-Man. That was a good game, but I have no desire to replay it. Or play more of it, for that matter. And that's kind of where I'm at with this Wolverine thing. Maybe it'll be cool. Maybe they'll do something different. But, like, as far as... when I say I'm burnt out on superheroes, as far as, like, established Marvel or established DC characters, for the most part, I'm burnt out. Marvel especially. DC not quite as much. And I have to say that on the grounds that of all fucking things, that goddamn Lego Batman game still looks pretty goddamn good.
Yeah,
and I would probably at least fuck with that. If not really get into it. But as far as like anyone from Marvel, like, I'm sorry, I don't care. I don't care about a new Spider-Man. I don't care about a new Wolverine. You can't make me care. Maybe when they show that shit off, maybe it will blow my dick off, and in 3 to 4 months when they reveal it, I'll go, goddamn, boys, I sure was wrong. I can't wait to play me some Wolverine. But otherwise, I've said this multiple times before. Endgame was the endgame for me, and the further away from Endgame I get, and the more that I still see Marvel shit, it doesn't, like, bother me, you know? I'm not sitting here like, oh my god, they gotta stop making this shit. But I'm also just like, man, this just further solidifies the fact that I'm out. I'm just out.
Yeah.
On Marvel. You can't make me care. You can't. And it's fucking Wolverine. Wolverine is cool. But unless it's in a side-scrolling belt beat 'em up from Konami, I probably don't really want to play as him, because he's not good for much more than that. You can't swing Wolverine around like you can fucking Spider-Man. Oh, what? Oh, Logan's got a chopper, so you can ride his motorcycle around. Hey, guess what? Batman's got a cool fucking car and a cool fucking motorcycle. And he can beat people up like Wolverine. Like, Batman's already doing a lot of the shit that you could make Wolverine do. I know. I've been very pessimistic tonight. I swear to God, I did not have a bad day, y'all. I'm not in a bad mood at all. I'm in a pretty fucking great mood, actually. It's just all these topics got me sounding so negative, this one included. But, like, you gotta give me something to work with. This is nothing.
I'm
trying to do Ren from Ren and Stimpy, and it's coming more off like a racist.
I thought you were doing the book from It Takes Two. You've fucking
I was
guy?
trying to do Ren from Ren and Stimpy, you idiot. But, like, I feel like if you haven't heard that voice, and that voice is already questionable, you're probably like, damn, he's really had to have hit his bong tonight. And you're wrong, I haven't, yet. This is the part where I mute myself and inconspicuously get really quiet for a prolonged period of time, which is good because the show's nearly over. Zach, let's hear your thoughts. I'm going to hit mute.
I want to see Batman. That's all I care about.
I also want a new Batman game, but here's the Batman game that I want, because I don't want just an Arkham game. Boys,
No, I just want Arkham.
Batman Ninja is one of the best animations you could watch. Um, and watch the Japanese dub and then watch the English dub. Both really fucking good dubs. But there was a recent movie, Batman Ninja got a sequel, where it's called Batman Ninja versus the Yakuza League. What they did is they turned the Justice League into the Yakuza. And it was cool as fuck. I want a Batman Ninja game. Basically just that, where you just go fight the Yakuza versions of Superman, the Flash, Green Lantern. And they didn't use just, normal like Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, Green Lanterns. They used fucking Jessica Carr or whatever her name is, which was unique and fucking cool. So what I want from a superhero game is I would just want different ideas. I just don't want, the traditional superhero games that we've gotten over the past like 20 years where you know what you're going to get. I think Wolverine looks cool as fuck. I'm not going to play it. I don't have a PlayStation. I'm not buying a PlayStation unless I get Uncharted fucking 5. But yeah, just give me something new. Give me like a unique idea from whatever superhero IP that we have that could just transform, my thoughts around superheroes. Give me a fucking tactics, fucking Flash game. That'd actually be really fucking cool.
You know what I'm fucking interested in video game wise when it comes to these superhero shit? Like, make a game that actually centers around one of the leagues of superheroes and fucking like put it in an open world and give me the option for some co-op, or genuinely make it about that. Like Justice League all in one city, or the Avengers all in one city. Like,
give me that Avengers Square Enix game, and
yeah, but that wasn't like open world and giant, like I can do whatever and it's all superhero going on, and what it's like Destiny mission RPG stuff. Like, give me the Batman Arkham interpretation of like if you just put all these superheroes in one place and it's all this whole giant situation, and let me have a giant sandbox to fuck around with these superheroes in. Don't make it like I have to play and repeat the same mission over 20 times and then I'm going to get bored of it because Captain America didn't unlock his new shield and I didn't get the drop rate for it. Like, that shit I feel like doesn't work. But give me like the Justice League or the Avengers in all one giant open world sandbox and let me have my fun doing all that shit. That I've always wanted to see, and nobody's ever wanted to do the design work or the budget to like make that fucking thing happen. I've always been curious, but like, you think that Disney of all people would have like tried to pull that off at this point too, considering how much money they have, but nope, no one's attempted it.
Disney's kind of weird and interesting. Not I say interesting, but not in like a good way. It's interesting in the sense of like, this is odd how you have progressed from where you used to be, I should say. But I find it interesting that they own so much now, yet arguably their video game output is more conservative than it's ever been in terms of like licensing out the different properties and things that they have. And I know part of that is because the landscape has shifted so much. And that's not to say there's 0 Disney games coming out a year. That's totally fucking wrong. But they do seem to do more of those games where you have a shitload of properties in one. Like, there's this... I've never played it, but my brother and my sister-in-law are... I don't know if they still are, but they were like super into this Disney Dream Valley game. Because I guess my sister-in-law, like a bunch of her friends, like people that she worked with, because she works at a bank and she's like one of the like youngest people there, right? So when I say a lot of her coworkers were playing it, these are all like, a lot of them are older women in their like late 50s, 60s.
Oh wow.
And they're buying Switches to play this fucking Disney game, which is like crazy. But
yeah,
point of the story being is that like clearly they still have stuff that sells and hits different audiences, but it is kind of crazy how like I feel like what you have described we would have maybe been more likely to see from them in the 90s or the 2000s rather than today.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankly, I don't know why that is. But then again, there's a lot of things I don't understand. I don't understand how they are such a giant monopoly that is allowed to own and possess virtually everything. And it's a whole thing. I don't need to regurgitate shit that's already been said on this very show by someone much smarter than me. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, all I will say is my favorite fucking Smiling Friends meme as of the last couple of months is it is my IP to sit on and do absolutely fucking nothing with, and that is how they've been treating everything.
Which is so sad. Like, oh man. All right, we'll come back to Disney another day though. Let's shift gears a little bit. We got Chuck Nasty coming in saying, do you guys expect Xbox to launch all of their big games this year? Fable, Forza Horizon 6, Halo, Combat Evolve. Is it Combat relaunched? Evolve? I don't know. I just know Halo is coming out. And Gears of War E-Day. Xbox
Nope.
developer.
Next
direct.
question.
Let's talk about what expectations are for this Xbox developer direct this week. So we know couple of games that are going to be highlighted: Forza Horizon 6, Fable, Beast of Reincarnation, which is a Game Freak game that's going to be, I don't think it's being published by Microsoft. I think they're just showcasing it. And then one secret game. I don't really need to spend too much time on the secret game. I don't know what it is. I'm just curious to see what it is at this point. So, knowing what they're showing right now, the two big ones being Fable and Forza Horizon 6. If you would have asked me a fucking year ago, I would have said Fable was going to get canceled. This leads me to believe that it's not going to get canceled since they're going to spotlight it. And I guess it's going to be coming out at some point this year. I think Forza got its release date leaked for like May. And then Beast of Reincarnation, we'll see what that looks like when they show it off. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine, I guess. But Fable's the big one that I'm like really curious about because I liked the OG Fable on the Xbox, and I even liked Fable 2 and 3. I know a lot of people kind of view those as being very decisive because of how short they were. But I didn't mind those games. I'm curious to know what they're going to do with the new Fable and how people are going to react to it. Because so far, everything that they've shown off about the game, which hasn't been much, but it's just been little like goofy CGI stuff with jokes. So yeah, I hope that we get a good game out of this. Have you guys played Fable? Any of them?
Yes, I played
yeah.
through like half of Fable 3 co-op with a buddy many, many years ago, and we just didn't get a chance to finish it. I remember liking it, but I also was kind of taking a back seat and kind of like it was kind of funny in hindsight how he did it. The short version of the story is that he really wanted me to play this game, but I was mainly wanting him, not even wanting him. He just sort of took point and like, here's what we're going to do like through like each of the levels. But then when it came to a point where like you can make a decision, then he'd be like, all right, I want you to do it. So like, I don't remember the gameplay much. I just remember it kind of being a straightforward hack and slash, which I know that's not fucking Fable. but that's the level of how much I was paying attention to like what was going on. I was just having fun killing shit. And that like you had this ambassador guy who was like clearly the bad guy, and he was like super smug. And like every time townspeople would come to you and be like, "Can we have something good?" And he'd be like, "No, you shouldn't let him have it." And you'd be like, "Yeah, have something good." He'd be like, "Oh, I hope that doesn't bite you in the ass, sire." Fucking idiot. That's like the only thing I remember about it. And I don't think much of that is accurate, in fairness.
I mean, it's not too far off from what I remember of my playthroughs of Fable. Because all of them were kind of, I don't want to say hokey, but they were kind of hokey. Zach, I think
it's kind of a goofy game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
like,
I was going to say, I've only played I played a decent chunk of the second game on Xbox 360 like forever ago. But I seriously do not remember very much about it at this point, though, because that was so long. But the games are pretty goofy. They're pretty tongue-in-cheek from what I remember. Like, I remember finding a lootable item as a condom, which was like fucking sheepskin, and being like, what the fuck? This is in this game? And like, it was a joke. Like, that's part of the game, is you can have condoms and get kids or not have kids and shit. And I was like, what the hell? Like, the game's just silly. It's just a silly adventure. And yeah, I do remember it mainly just being a hack and slash. So I don't know if it gets any deeper than that, Carson, but like, that's what I remember of it as well. So, hey, there was a light and a dark side. There's like a paragon system. You can fucking get wings for being the devil, or you can become an angel based off of your choices. And even that's all wrapped up in being kind of silly. So I just remember it being just a goofy little thing. And I remember having fun with it. I remember liking what I was playing, but it was so long ago, I can't even tell you the specifics behind it at this point.
Yeah,
now that you said that, I want to say that I remember more of people, like the things people told me about it, rather than what I personally remember, because Fable 3 is the only one I spent any level of time with. So, in my head, I remember being told, like, yeah, this game's crazy. Because, like, there's, like, a mission, I think, in the first one, where, like, you have a choice that you can either, like, destroy this, have this, like, town destroyed, or get your face disfigured. And almost everyone I knew was like, get your face disfigured. Like, obviously, like, that's the good choice. Like, shit like that. And I remember that being like, whoa, that's so deep. And like, now I look at it and it's like, it really wasn't taking itself seriously, huh? Because like, I remember too, you mentioned like the morality system. If you're, do you know what happens if you're bad?
No,
because you would think,
completely.
Oh, you get wings, you're like good. So if you're evil, you must get horns and like a tail and stuff, right? No, you get stinky and flies fucking buzz around you. Not even kidding. Like,
that's funny.
Maybe I do need to replay those games, because I remember them too being like these like really like serious high fantasy things, but like now when you said that, I was like, yeah, I think they're supposed to be like comedies.
Yeah,
I think
for some
the
reason they were
game is like the least comedic one out of all of them, but the first two I remember being told, or at least from what I remember of the second one, that game was pretty funny. And the first one I never got to play, but I do remember there being complaints about the third game not being all that fucking like like most of the time. It's just kind of like it tried to take itself seriously.
Then maybe, because I do seem to remember it being a fairly serious game, so maybe that's why I'm getting it so misconstrued. I thought for sure I had Fable in my fucking like shared libraries, but apparently not.
Yeah, Fable 3's tone blends its classic fairy tale charm with a darker, more politically charged atmosphere and abandons the hokey, lightest shit of the past game. So yeah, man, maybe you need to go back and go try out Fable 2 and play out the weirdness and tell us what you think.
Yeah, we need the Fable playthrough now, because I'm just remembering all the hokey shit, and I felt like 3 was still kind of hokey in certain ways. Huh.
Oh, really?
What you discovered?
Fable isn't on Steam?
Oh, that's wild.
They
Fable
removed it
Anniversary
years
is
ago.
on Steam, but I want to say I heard that Fable Anniversary is ass. I could be wrong, though.
I mean,
It apparently
It's got a
runs
very
good.
positive rating. But yeah, Fable 2 and Fable 3 are not on Steam. And they removed the original version, so it's only Anniversary.
all right. I feel like we're gonna see some goofy shit this coming Thursday with Fable at this point. Now that we're just taking a stroll down memory lane on OG
Yeah.
Fable, and I'm here for it. Like I'm very curious about. In all honesty, I'm always curious going into these Xbox developer directs because you just don't know what you're gonna. You know what you're gonna get, but you don't know what you're gonna get because they announce all the games that they're gonna talk
And you
about
don't know if it'll come out.
before. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I'm one curious to know when this game comes out. Two, if people of the Red Nation will be able to play this game. Um, Probably not day and date when it comes out on Xbox, but also if it's gonna come to PlayStation as well. It seems like it probably will since they're moving their entire catalog to other consoles. But yeah, because the trailers that they've shown for the new Fable have that old goofiness in them, which makes me mildly excited. I'm just worried about the fucking gameplay because it's made by the same people that make the Forza Horizon games. And Forza Horizon's good, but they don't do action games, they do car games. So
Yeah, it's a very weird choice for sure. Like, I really like the studio that makes the Forza games. They rock at it. Forza 4, Forza 5 are awesome. Forza 6 probably going to be fucking awesome. But like, that's not an RPG, and that's not like a smartly written British comedy RPG that is Fable. So like, that's just you're asking somebody to go fucking make a house when they just bake cakes. Like, I don't see that shit going well, dude. You're totally different craftsmanship here.
you just get a house made of cakes.
You know what? I'm going to say it now. Whoa, timeout. What? Fable
What's the
2
revelation?
was never on PC?
Nope. Neither was the third game, only Xbox 360.
Whoa! I didn't know that.
Sounds
Dude,
like
I can't believe that as hard up as Microsoft is for fucking anything, they haven't ported these games. That's unbelievable. I didn't realize that.
you know what would be
Wow.
really fucking cool is if while they give a release date for this new Fable, which I also don't think that we get like a concrete release date. I think they probably just say like summer or fall 2026, just to see if GTA 6 gets pushed again. But it'd be really fucking cool if they're like, hey, like, we got this new Fable coming out, but if you want to enjoy the originals, we're gonna move all those over to new platforms as well. I think that'd be really fucking sweet, since they've never been on PC.
You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right the fuck now, because I know it won't happen. But if the mystery game tomorrow is them coming back and being like, we have saved Perfect Dark,
Oh, that ain't fucking happening.
I will go on the show next week. I know it won't, but if it does, I'll go on the show next week. I will turn on my cam and I will have my wife take duct tape and wax the hair off my shoulders with it on camera, just so I can scream in pain.
You know what?
That's how confident I am that it will not happen. I know it will not. It'd be a horrible idea because it's already been canceled and everything. And I know that it was like shopped around and stuff and they couldn't find anything. I know it won't happen, which is exactly why I said that ridiculous thing just now. But also, would it not be hilarious to clip this later and have to explain this to anybody?
Yes,
Yeah.
it would be pretty funny.
So that's where I'm sitting at saying this, because I'm confident it won't happen. But if it does, let's make some fucking money next Monday. Get JT's view count up. That's what I mean by make some fucking money.
All right, yeah, I'm down for that. But you know, I don't want to be the negative Nancy on this one, but we already know, we kind of have an idea of what the mystery game is going to be this week. The studio that made
Fucking
Psychonauts.
scale.
Well, that'd be fucking awesome, but also not gonna fucking happen. But it's a game from the Psychonauts developer, and a lot of people.
Double Fine?
Yeah,
Neat.
a lot of people are thinking it's either going to be Psychonauts 3 or some other platformer.
I'd feel like a really stupid asshole if it was Psychonauts 3. Because I wanted
We
Psychonauts
just gotta
2
do-
for so long. And I
I've been
still haven't
sleeping
played
on
it.
Yeah, me too. I'm sleep. It's in my backlog. I'm just letting it sit there, and I feel so terrible about it.
Apparently, it's really good.
Yeah, I know. That's why I feel terrible
all I've
about
ever
it.
heard. And I saw a bunch of mega weirdos that were all angry about it for some reason. I'm still not sure why. Didn't look into it. Just told me that I probably really needed to play it.
Is
And then I just haven't gotten around to it.
Psychonauts even on
Honestly, I
the
need to
Switch? Is
replay
it?
the first games. It's been so long, but like, that's one of those games. There's not very many like this, but that is 100% one of those games that I would go back and do over for the first time again if I could.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those ones that I heard about for years, just for fucking years. I heard about Psychonauts and I had no way to play it because all I had was a GameCube, and that was the one fucking system it didn't come out on. It was on PS2 and Xbox and PC, but it never came to GameCube, so I was never able to play it. And I remember seeing it on like XPlay and stuff all the time. And then we got our 360, and then like that, like Christmas, I think, around that time was when they finally made Psychonauts. Like, they put it up on the Xbox Marketplace, and I got like one of those Xbox cards on like Christmas Eve, and I bought that game, and I didn't finish it all in like one sitting, but I got like over halfway in one go and didn't even realize it. Like, it was such an engrossing game. Like, it's one of those ones that, like, if you haven't gotten to play it, if you can, you should, because it's so fucking, like, that first time through is so good. And I am sorry to say that subsequent playthroughs do not hit nearly as well. But that first time, man, it's a fucking trip.
Oh, it's not on the Switch. Oh. All right.
Fucking Psychonauts is so weird. It might have a Mac port. It has the most
Really?
random ass PC support. Like, the
Uh,
PC version was janky shit, and then out of nowhere they were like, we're gonna update it and make it good. And they didn't like make a whole real big fuss of it, really. It wasn't like Psychonauts remastered. It was just, we're just gonna update it years and years later because like people have been paying attention to Psychonauts. And this was before 2 was even like really a thing. It was when they started including it in a bunch of the like humble bundles and shit, and more people were able to play it.
yeah. Interesting. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that later and see if there. I mean, it's like perfect game for the Switch audience. You don't know why it hasn't happened yet.
Honestly, JT, just saying real quick, because I know we're about to wrap up the show, but I think you would actually really fuck with Psychonauts, because now that I think about it, the writing in that game kind of similar to like regular show, and I know regular show is your fucking jam, like very specifically regular show. That's what the writing reminds me of.
I still think that we are being deprived of a regular show Mario and Luigi like. So
after that GIF, did you see that fucking GIF the other day?
Fucking Carson sent me one a while ago.
Dude, that rules. Those guys fucking knocked out of the park with that thing. I'm totally on board with this concept.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, like Microsoft, what are y'all doing? Bring Psychonauts to the Switch. I mean, from what I've seen of 2, I've wanted to play it, but I just don't have the means for it. But we'll see if there's a Mac port later. But Xbox Developer Direct is this Thursday. I will watch it. Maybe I will grab a Ninja Sword like I did last year. That's crazy. That was a year ago. Ninja Gaiden 4 got announced. Wow. Good times. Good times. We got a couple more questions I'm gonna hit because they're all easy ones.
Okay, not only is there a Mac port for Psychonauts, there's a native fucking Linux port. Of all things. That's wild.
Yeah, that's weird as shit.
Show, thank you guys for watching. Of course, I'm joined tonight by Zach and Carson. Real quick, fellas, why don't you tell the good homies at home where they can find you, Zach?
Yes. My address is... I'm just kidding. You can catch me here every Monday night. Otherwise, you can catch me on the hellscape known as x.com and or formerly Twitter of the place that I loved, but I refuse to leave due to nostalgia and a burdening set of denial. ZF5150. You can also catch me over at itch.io at ZF5150, where I make video games and sometimes things get posted on that profile. Yes, there are no other places where I currently post things. There is a place called Datfish9. I don't post things there. And that is pretty much it. Thank you for having me. It was a grand time.
Always. We'll be back Thursday, me and Zach, for Press A, where we finally talk about Metroid and all things Nintendo. Carson, tell the good homies at home where they can find you.
You can find me here most Monday nights, and you can also find me at youtube.com/expansionpack. That's youtube.com/expansionpack for Brett's friend Carson, where this Wednesday, hopefully, assuming Mr. Bretsky is able to get the episode to me, we will hopefully be playing Daytona, USA. And you know what, folks? I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a secret here. We actually filmed another skit for this one. It kicks off the episode. I think it's going to be kind of funny. I hope you'll like it. So I hope you'll check out us playing old Daytona, USA. Do. Yes, we do sing that motherfucking song. Over at youtube.com/expansionpack. That's youtube.com/expansionpack for Brett's friend Carson. Most Wednesdays. Can't say every Wednesday anymore. But this Wednesday at noon Central time, Brett's friend Carson at youtube.com/expansionpack. And of course, all the previous episodes of Brett's friend Carson, plus more, are at youtube.com/expansionpack. It's the best background noise you will hear all week long. Gentlemen, I am going to make like one of Lance Armstrong's testicles and drop out. So later, boys. Have a good one, and I'll see you next week.
There he goes.
Yep. I guess I'm getting out of here too. It's been a fun episode. We hope you guys enjoy it. And, stay tuned for everything that we got happening here on JT's Game and Mayhem. You can find me at your local Denny's. Until next week, folks. Peace.
Hell yes.